There are moments in sports that stop time. Not literally, of course, but in a way that makes every heartbeat feel amplified, every breath drawn sharper, and every eye in the arena lock onto a singular point of inevitability. The air thickens, carrying an almost electric charge, a hum of anticipation so intense it could be cut with a knife. It is the pause before the storm, the seconds before a bell rings or a ball is struck, the unspoken agreement that something extraordinary is about to unfold. You have felt it before, whether you knew its name or not, the weight of history pressing down, the invisible tremor running through thousands of bodies, as if the very stadium itself is holding its collective breath. And tonight, that exact frequency vibrates across the Tips Arena in Linz, Austria. Every inch of the venue hums with expectation because history is about to be written on clay. The European clay season, one of tennis's most brutal and defining chapters, is awakening. And in the center of it all stands a singular, electrifying force, a young woman with the poise of a seasoned veteran and the fire of a prodigy just discovering the boundaries of her own limits. Alexandra Eala, only 20 years old, is more than a rising star. She is a phenomenon. From the bustling streets of Manila to the glittering courts of the WTA Tour, she has captured the imaginations of fans across continents, inspiring awe and disbelief in equal measure. But tonight, she faces a challenge that is entirely new, a challenge that will test everything she has trained for, everything she has endured, and everything she believes about herself. Across the net stands Julia Grabher, a 29-year-old Austrian clay court specialist, the hometown hero, and a woman whose name carries decades of experience and a reputation for grinding opponents into submission with surgical precision. This is no ordinary matchup. It is a collision of generations, of styles, and of sheer, unrelenting willpower. The anticipation is almost unbearable. The fans inside the Tips Arena chatter in low, nervous tones, but even their voices seem drowned out by the sense of inevitability hanging in the air. For Alexandra, the indoor clay court represents both opportunity and danger. Unlike outdoor clay, which slows the ball and allows for extended rallies, indoor clay is faster, tighter, and merciless. The spin of a forehand bites more violently into the surface, every bounce sharper, every angle more treacherous. And for someone like Grabher, a veteran of the European grind, home court advantage is a weapon in itself. She knows how to manipulate the court, how to extend rallies until her opponent tires, how to force mistakes through sheer patience and strategic brilliance. With 41 clay court wins last season alone, Grabher is a living testament to the art of the grind. Yet Alexandra is no ordinary challenger. She is a whirlwind of raw, untamed power owned into near perfection. She carries with her the legacy of 6 years of relentless training under the unforgiving sun at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, where Tony Nadal himself shaped her technique, patience, and tactical intelligence. Every forehand, every serve, every sprint across the court has been meticulously drilled into muscle memory, tested under exhaustion, and honed for situations exactly like this. Her left-handed play adds another layer of unpredictability. Angles invert, spins behave differently, and every exchange is a puzzle her opponents are forced to solve in real time. Combined with her blazing serve, explosive footwork, and relentless aggression, she is a force of nature. And now, that force is poised to crash into the immovable object that is Julia Grabher. The narrative is clear on paper. Alexandra Eala, 20 years old, ranked 46th in the world, has momentum and raw power in her favor. Her recent victories in North America, including a stunning win over the world number 2 Iga Swiatek, showcased her fearless style and earned her a reputation as the player to watch this season. She carries the hopes of an entire nation on her shoulders, and she thrives under pressure. But this is clay, red, slow, punishing clay that rewards patience, precision, and experience over brute force. Grabher may be ranked lower, but she is a master of the surface. She has seen it all, played it all, and survived the grind of countless long, lung-bursting rallies. And tonight, she is defending her turf with the pride of a home crowd roaring behind her. Every miss from Eala men with cheers, every defensive shot from Grabher magnified by adoring fans who know these courts as their own. The psychological battlefield is as intense as the physical one. Alexandra must remain unflappable, unshaken by the crowd, the noise, or the history staring her in the face. Every shot must be deliberate, every rally carefully constructed yet executed with instinctive aggression. The key to victory lies in relentless pressure. Attack Grabher's second serve, dictate the pace from the baseline, exploit angles, force errors, and never, under any circumstances, allow the veteran to find comfort or rhythm. Drop shots, heavy top spins, and strategic placement of every ball are not just tactics, they are survival mechanisms. The smallest lapse in focus could turn the tide, and there is no room for error. For Grabher, the strategy is equally clear. She must extend rallies, drag Alexandra into long, punishing exchanges, and leverage every ounce of her experience. By controlling tempo, manipulating distance, and forcing Eala into defensive positions, she
She hopes to turn the young Theon's aggression into a liability. Every slide, every carefully placed lob, every deceptive shot is a piece of a larger puzzle designed to frustrate, exhaust, and ultimately break the spirit of her opponent. The match is chess, yes, but played at a speed and intensity that could leave unprepared.
There are moments in sports that stop time, not literally, of course, but in a way that makes every heartbeat feel amplified, every breath drawn sharper, and every eye in the arena lock onto a singular point of inevitability. The air thickens, carrying an almost electric charge, a hum of anticipation so intense it could be cut with a knife. It is the pause before the storm, the seconds before a bell rings or a ball is struck, the unspoken agreement that something extraordinary is about to unfold. You have felt it before, whether you knew its name or not, the weight of history pressing down, the invisible tremor running through thousands of bodies, as if the very stadium itself is holding its collective breath. And tonight, that exact frequency vibrates across the Tips Arena in Linz, Austria.
Learned under Nadal's tutelage have translated perfectly to the unforgiving clay, and that the era of a new global star is not coming, it has already arrived. For Grabher, it is a fight for redemption, a chance to reclaim pride and validate years of hard work on her home soil. For the fans, it is an emotional crescendo, a homegrown veteran defending against an unstoppable international phenomenon, a story of grit versus raw talent, patience versus youthful fire. The arena itself becomes a character in this unfolding drama. The lights glint off the red clay, each line sharply defined, each shadow emphasizing the tension on the court. Cameras broadcast to millions worldwide, capturing every blink, every movement, every expression. Filipino fans are glued to screens at midnight, cheering from Manila to the diaspora communities in Europe and the United States, keeping their collective breath held with every rally. Austrian fans erupt with every defensive shot from Grabher, filling the arena with energy designed to unnerve the newcomer. The psychological pressure is tangible, and the emotional stakes are stratospheric. As the players warm up, the air is thick with expectation. The ritual of bouncing balls, stretching, swinging rackets, and calling shots serves as the final preparation for the battle to come. Every muscle is taut, every nerve firing. Alexandra's forehand crackles with energy, her serve booms across the court, and her eyes glint with that deadly calm that has become her trademark. Grabher moves with the fluidity of someone who knows these courts better than her own heartbeat, her every step measured, deliberate, practiced. This is the culmination of years of preparation, training, and mental fortitude for both athletes. No margin for error exists. The crowd fades into a hushed roar, anticipation coiling around the court like a living entity. Tonight, it is more than a match. It is a statement. It is history in motion, witnessed not only by those in the arena, but by millions across continents who have been waiting, dreaming, and believing in the ascent of Alex Eala. Every swing of her racket carries the weight of her journey, her sacrifices, her relentless pursuit of excellence. Every step Julia Grabher takes is a testament to years of expertise, resilience, and the unyielding desire to defend her home. The battle is not just physical, it is cultural, emotional, and symbolic. It is youth versus experience, innovation versus tradition, fire against ice. And when the first serve rockets across the net, the world will know a new chapter in tennis history is being written, point by point, rally by rally, with the collective breath of millions holding steady until the final decisive strike. The tunnel doors opened, and Alexandra Eala stepped onto the red clay like a force of nature. Every eye in the tips arena tracked her movements, yet she seemed impervious to the roar, to the shifting lights, to the dozens of cameras snapping from every angle. Her steps were purposeful, measured, but underneath them pulsed a barely contained hurricane of energy. She adjusted her left-handed grip, glanced briefly at her racket, and exhaled, slowly, deliberately. This was the moment she had trained for, the culmination of 6 years at the Rafa Nadal Academy. Countless forehands hammered into the clay, endless sprints along the sand and pavement, her hands blistered, her body bruised, her spirit forged like steel. Tonight, all of that fire, all of that preparation would be tested. Julia Grabher followed seconds later, moving with a different kind of certainty. She did not smile, she did not show emotion. Her focus was absolute, honed through decades of defending her home turf and surviving grueling clay court battles. She walked with the confidence of someone whose muscles remember thousands of points, thousands of rallies, thousands of decisions made in the heat of competition. The Austrian crowd erupted, a deafening, pulse-pounding roar, waving flags, stamping feet, and chanting her name. Every cheer, every shout, every hiss of excitement was designed to rattle Alexandra, to remind her that she was the outsider in this arena. But Alexandra barely flinched. Her eyes, cold and unrelenting, scanned the court, and in that gaze lay a promise. She was here to dominate, to dictate, and to leave no doubt about her power. The umpire's voice cut through the roar, precise and commanding. Players ready? Let's play. And just like that, the match began. From the first serve, Alexandra made her intentions clear. She launched a booming left-handed serve out wide, the ball slicing through the indoor air with an almost unnatural speed. Grabher reacted with practiced precision, returning the ball deep into the court, but the momentum had already shifted. Alexandra took the ball on the rise, her forehand whipping violently through the court. The red clay seemed to explode beneath her shot, a violent, controlled eruption that forced Grabher back, her feet scrambling for purchase, her eyes narrowing with the first hints of frustration. Point by point, the narrative became apparent. Alexandra's aggression was relentless, her heavy topspin forehands kicked up with terrifying consistency, each shot not just a ball, but a statement of intent. She moved Grabher side to side, forcing the Austrian veteran into high-speed sprints that drew audible gasps from the crowd. When Alexandra dropped the purse softly over the net, Grabher lunged, only to find herself out of position, her timing disrupted. Each rally was a war, a clash of contrasting styles, Alexandra's explosive power and youth against Grabher's patience, experience, and tactical cunning.
Court became a chessboard, but the pieces moved at blistering speed. Every decision split second, every misstep punished immediately. The first set was a whirlwind. Alexandra's serve repeatedly targeted Grabher's second serve, exploiting the weakness that coaches and analysts had identified. Deep returns, sharp angles, and aggressive baseline domination forced Grabher to play on the defensive. For every precise slice Grabher deployed, Alexandra responded with brutal intensity, punishing errors and forcing mistakes. The crowd tried to sway the momentum, applauding every defensive shot Grabher executed with near-perfect form, but Alexandra remained unmoved. Her focus was surgical. Every rally was calculated, every shot intentional, and every swing a reaffirmation of the training she had endured under Tony Nadal's watchful eye. The first set ended 6-3, a display of controlled power and relentless precision. But clay court tennis is a marathon, not a sprint. Grabher knew she could not allow the match to be defined by the first set alone. Her strategy shifted subtly in the second set. She began extending rallies, weaving in deep defensive lobs, forcing Alexandra to chase balls from corner to corner. Each slide across the clay was a masterclass in efficiency, each shot placed to test Alexandra's patience and stamina. Grabher's experience showed in her ability to absorb power and redirect it, making Alexandra work for every single point. The Austrian crowd, now fully invested, cheered and gasped with every successful defensive maneuver, and for the first time, a flicker of certainty appeared in Alexandra's eyes. She shook it off, exhaling sharply, recalibrating, and returning to her aggressive baseline play. The second set became a psychological tug-of-war. Grabher was trying to sap Alexandra's energy, but Alexandra's youth, conditioning, and relentless fire refused to break. Every drop shot was met with explosive acceleration, every corner pushed to the extremes, countered with a violent forehand or a perfectly angled backhand slice. Alexandra's movements were poetry in motion, fluid yet explosive, graceful yet merciless. The indoor clay magnified her speed, her spin, and her aggression, turning every rally into a spectacle of sheer physical dominance. By the end of the second set, Alexandra secured it 6-4, but the match was far from over. Grabher had proven she could extend rallies and test Alexandra's limits, and the third set would demand every ounce of stamina, skill, and mental fortitude from both athletes. The third set was an absolute war. Early on, Grabher managed to hold serve and even force Alexandra into a long, grueling rally that ended with a drop shot catching Alexandra just off balance. The crowd erupted, sensing a possible shift, but Alexandra responded with calm precision. She took the next service game with a blistering ace down the tee, her forehand dominating from the baseline, and reminded everyone why she was the favorite. Point by point, game by game, the tension escalated to unbearable levels. Every missed shot by Grabher was met with guttural cheers from Alexandra's supporters, her Filipino fans in the upper decks waving flags and chanting her name with feverish intensity. The crowd's energy was nearly tangible, an invisible force adding momentum to Alexandra's already staggering pace. Grabher, sensing the urgency, began to fight back with all the experience she had accumulated over more than a decade on tour. She executed perfect defensive slides, forced Alexandra into extended rallies, and used precise placement to pull her off the baseline. Each point became a test of endurance, a battle of wills. Alexandra, however, seemed almost superhuman. Her footwork was impeccable, her anticipation razor-sharp, and her ability to absorb the punishing rallies while maintaining aggressive execution left the crowd and commentators in awe. Every explosive forehand, every perfectly timed drop shot, every aggressive approach to the net was a reaffirmation that Alexandra was not merely participating, she was dominating, controlling the narrative of the match from start to finish. Midway through the third set, the arena fell into near silence during a particularly intense rally. Over 20 shots were exchanged in rapid succession, both women sliding, sprinting, and lunging across the court. Sweat poured from Alexandra's brow, yet she did not waver. Grabher's arms trembled, her breathing became heavier, but still she persisted, a testament to the strength and resilience that had defined her career. Finally, Alexandra unleashed a perfectly timed forehand down the line, the ball exploding off the clay, impossible for Grabher to reach. The crowd erupted, the sound shaking the arena like a storm, and Alexandra clenched her fist, her expression unreadable but victorious. That point felt emblematic of the entire match, a clash of raw power versus tactical precision, youth versus experience, inevitability versus resistance. As the set progressed, Alexandra's dominance became increasingly clear. Grabher fought valiantly, but the relentless pace and strategic aggression of the Filipina star were simply overwhelming. Alexandra's left-handed angles created open court after open court, forcing Grabher into defensive positions she could not escape. Her powerful serve continued to punish Grabher's second serve vulnerability, and her forehands rimmed through rallies like cannon fire. By the end of the third set, Alex Eala had sealed the match 6-3, 6-4, 6-4, a straight sets victory that felt simultaneously clinical and explosive, an unassailable testament to her preparation, talent, and unyielding determination. The arena erupted into a chaotic symphony of cheers, applause, and astonishment. Julia Grabher, exhausted and emotionally spent, approached the net, extending her hand with respect and acknowledgement. Alexandra accepted it with calm grace, her expression betraying neither